Hello everyone, I have been quietly lurking on this site for a while, and man has it been an eye-opener. I hope it's okay to post this here, since this isn't directly about my MIL but my sister's MIL, though she seems to think that makes her my MIL as well. If not, please let me know. I want to vent about my sister's MIL, who is entirely too involved in my life. This will be a little long, cause I want it to be understood how nuts this lady is, and I need to give background info. To start, I am married to an amazing man, whose parents are extreme justicals. Seriously, I could not adore his parents more than I already do. My own parents are also mostly just eyes with a little Beck moments here and there, but it was never a problem. The dark blip in our happy family is my sister's MIL. She's like a wannabe June Cleaver, but the off-brand kind you find in the delusional section in the drugstore. She loves the idea of having one of those big Hallmark movie families where an entire extended family spend every holiday together, and the family just grows as each of her kids get married. Whereas that idea seems harmless enough, she wants it to a sort of insane degree, like she's directing a 90s-esque movie, and if you do something that isn't in her script, she will get a large terrifying plastered smile. And her voice gradually gets higher as she tells you off. I honestly never met anyone with that mentality in my life. My sister's first Christmas married to her son, this crazy lady insisted to host Christmas for everyone, meaning her siblings and side of the family, plus my parents, my brother, his wife, and I are also supposed to attend cause we are now part of her family. The fact that we usually spend Christmases with my aunts and uncles and cousin is irrelevant, cause in her words now that my son married sister, we are your new family. That's not how it works, lady, not at all. It was hands down the most bizarre holiday I ever had, which included assigned seats in the dining room and the living room, and weird as fuck presents. If anyone is interested, I will tell the story of Christmas in off-brand Wonderland. My sister has been married for 8 years now, and I have a ton of crazy stories about her MIL who seems to think she has as much say in my life as she does my sister or my Bill's life. I was able to avoid her and deal with her craziness up until I got married, where apparently she went from 3 demons inhabiting her body to 12, cause she has upped her nonsense the last few years with me to an insane degree. DH and I have a pretty cute history. Our parents were friends since before I can remember, and he is a few years older than me. We didn't care for each other as kids, cause you know age difference and him being a complete teenage dickhead. But after college, when we haven't seen each other for a few years, we reconnected and fell in love, the whole 9 yards. Our parents were thrilled, but to my shocker MIL beyond happy. OMG, that is the sweetest story. It's like a movie. She posted this on her Facebook. My sister's MIL posted about my relationship on Facebook. She also calls me her DIL. No off-brand Hallmark, I am not. No matter how much I said I wasn't her DIL and to stop posting about my life on her Facebook, she just acted like I was joking. Now my sister and Bill had a small wedding with only 10 of the closest family and friends in Vegas, and it was lovely and exactly what they wanted despite the fact that sister's MIL wanted to do a huge wedding. She made sad little sighs and would comment how much more fun it would have been if they had a proper wedding. DH and I had a big wedding, a decision we came to based on the fact that we both had a large extended family and close-knit group of friends where we also are close with our friends' families. My DH is amazing, and let me have my dream wedding, which was Beauty and the Beast themed, even though it was not exactly his dream. When my sister told her MIL this, she apparently screeched in excitement and started telling my sister all her ideas for it. My sister told her gently that I had my wedding planned since I was 10 and I made it clear I didn't want anyone to help with planning unless I asked them to. Oh, but I know she wants me to help. She knows how much I love weddings and how I watch all those shows about them. Plus I love Disney. That night, she sent me 37 texts telling me her ideas, which included her idea that centerpieces be books covered in glitter and have the groomsmen dress like Gaston, and for some reason didn't see my texts where I said thanks, but I got it. One issue that she wouldn't shut the fuck up about was Flower Girl. My niece was 4, and would have been my first choice as a flower girl if she wasn't so painfully shy, and the idea of walking by herself with a bunch of people looking at her made her cry. Being that I didn't want to make my niece uncomfortable, we decided to go a different way. I have 2 dogs who I love more than anything, and we decided that my best friend's boys would walk the 2 dogs down the aisle, and both dogs would have little baskets with holes strapped onto their backs that would release flowers as they walked. Everyone loved the idea except, you guessed it, sister's MIL. How could you choose your dogs over niece? What will people say? This isn't how it's supposed to be. She shrieked that last part to me so many times that I seriously considered just making her a laminated sign of this isn't how it's supposed to be, so she can just wave it around and save her voice. I went as far as getting the paper laminated before my sister saw it, and begged me not to cause more trouble. She made an ass of herself at my wedding shower, which is a whole story on its own. But the real kicker was my wedding, specifically during the father-daughter dance. My dad and I loved the song La Vie en Rose since I was a little girl, and chose that as our song. A cute thing we had decided to do is toward the end of the song was to bring in my mom as a surprise so the three of us danced together. Now I didn't see this part, but I heard about it later on. Apparently once we brought my mom into the song, Sisters MIL tried to rush toward us to join in too. Thankfully my amazing MOH, a kick-ass take-no-shit Polish lady, grabbed Sisters MIL before she reached us and dragged her away like a petulant child, quietly cursing at her in fury and threatening to have her kicked out on her ass. She also tried to drag my Bill on the dance floor during the mother-son dance, claiming it's a loud cause she never had one with him. My Bill refused, saying it's not his wedding, and she started getting loud in her section, saying give me my dance. I deserve my dance. Once again, my angel of MOH plus my other bestie stepped in and dragged her away. My MOH forcibly sat her down and said, listen lady, I am running on 2 hours of sleep and half a liter of vodka and 5 cups of coffee. If I have to for any reason keep you from ruining this day for don't bully my pups and her DH one more time, I swear to God I will have dragged you out of here and into a taxi by force. My Bill got involved and defended his mom, and my MOH and bestie plus now a few of my cousins ripped into him. In the end, Bill quietly apologized and his mother was subdued for the evening. I was blissfully ignorant, enjoying my dream wedding. When I heard about it after my honeymoon, man was I pissed, and I shamelessly went off on both my sisters MIL and Bill about their nonsense. I have more stories to get off my chest, so you will probably hear from me again. Story 2. I'm currently 7 months pregnant. My 1049 is extremely overbearing and controlling. We purposefully hid the pregnancy from her until 5 months, when I couldn't hide my belly anymore because I know she'll just cause me undue stress. At the beginning of my pregnancy, my husband's aunt helped us find a confinement nanny to live with us for 2 months after the baby is born. MIL only lives an hour away, so having a nanny lined up at SAP was one of my first priorities, to ensure there was no chance she'd be our help. Today, my husband mentioned that we had already booked a nanny to stay with us for 2 months. When she heard this, she immediately started screaming at him, asking why we need a nanny. Since she was able to raise 2 kids without help, I should be able to as well. Then went on about how if we need help, my parents are supposed to move in and help with the baby because that's what all her friends did for their grandkids. Then asking why we hired a live-in nanny instead of part-time only. Later on, she texted my husband asking why he didn't discuss this with her first. I'm flabbergasted at why she cares so much when it's not her business and she's not the one paying. My husband says it's because she doesn't want us spending money on things she thinks is unnecessary. However, I feel like she's judging me and my parents as inadequate since I'm not doing 100% of the caretaking. In an effort to try to calm her down, his aunt told my MIL that it was my parents' idea, and they were the ones paying for it. Now, she wants to call my parents to confirm this. This is crazy. We are in our late 30s, but I feel like I'm in high school all over again. His mom has been a source of tension in our relationship because she is so controlling. He had a lot of trouble setting boundaries and would often let her run the show. In this instance, he's being supportive of me and standing up to her, so I'm grateful for that. She tends to put my husband on a pedestal since he's a doctor and worked so hard to get where he's at. She doesn't like him doing housework after a long day at work or other people inconveniencing him for help since it takes away from his rest. Housework, cooking, and childcare as a woman's job seems to be her sentiment. I feel upset because if roles were reversed and it was possible that my husband could carry the child, she would probably be more supportive, but since it's me, a woman, she's angry that some of his hard-earned money is going to help me. Also wanted to add, my husband is wonderful and does do a lot of the housework and cooking, so no complaints there. I have no doubts about him as a father either. After this episode, I'm even more worried what she'll be like after the baby is born.